And hello and good afternoon, and welcome to another College Football Saturday live stream here on my page. First of all, my name is John, Sports Bonanza John here on YouTube, with you on Twitch today, Sport Guru John. If you do like my content on here, would appreciate a like and subscribe. That would really help out and go a long way. We get set for an FCS matchup, Indiana State and Montana. Montana ranked number 5 in the FCS poll this week, the Stats Perform FCS Top 25 poll. They come in at 2-0. Indiana State comes in 2-1. Before we begin and get ready for the pregame, I'm going to start off with a prayer this afternoon. Lord Jesus, thank you very much for this day, and thank you for watching over us, and please protect us, and please protect all these players and everyone involved in this game, Lord, and look over us all as well as we pray this in your mighty name, Lord Jesus. Amen. Indiana State and Montana, mentioned Montana coming in at 2-0, ranked number 5 in the Stats Perform FCS poll this week. They opened up with a win over Central Washington, and in their last game had a dramatic comeback win over North Dakota to start off the season 2-0. Indiana State, meanwhile, comes in at 2-1. They started off the season with a win over McKendree, and then picked up their second win in their rivalry game against Eastern Illinois, those two longtime rivals. And Indiana State last week fell in Bloomington to Indiana. That's how they've gotten their 2-1 record on the season. This is the final non-conference game for both of these teams, as both teams will be starting conference play in their next games. It's Montana looking to go 3-0. And actually, I take that back. I beg your pardon. Montana does have one more non-conference game against Sacred Heart. That's coming up like mid-Big Sky season, so a little unusual for it to come mid-season like that, but that's where their season is. So this is the next to last conference game non-conference game for Montana. Indiana State's last non-conference game before conference play gets underway for them. As Montana looks to stay undefeated, we're going to keep you updated on all the college football scores as the day goes on. Taking a look at the top 10 in the FCS, North Dakota State, and to no big surprise, ranked number 1 as they're off to a 3-0 start. They've been number 1 since the beginning of the season. The Bison of North Dakota State have been just the premier FCS program for the last decade. They have the week off this week. South Dakota State comes in at number 2. They are also idle this week. Tarleton State coming in this week at number 3. Tarleton State has the win over FBS Army earlier in the season. Tarleton State plays later on at home against Chattanooga. Montana State ranked number 4 in the FCS poll. They're getting ready to kick off at home against Mercyhurst. And, of course, Montana here, number 5. Rounding out the rest of the top 10, Illinois State comes in at number 6, and Illinois State currently has a 17-0 lead over North Alabama in their game today. Rhode Island is in the FCS poll this week at number 7. Rhode Island hosting Long Island University. That game coming up this evening. Number 8 team is Idaho. Idaho has their FBS money game coming up this week. They're at San Jose State. That game coming up later on. UC Davis coming in at number 9. UC Davis hosting Southern Utah later on tonight. And Lehigh rounding out the top 10 in the FCS poll. Lehigh is traveling to Bucknell for a game this evening. We are set to kick this one off between Indiana State and Montana, the number 5 ranked Montana Grizzlies, looking to go 3-0 in the season. Bobby Hauck, the head coach at Montana, in his second stint at Montana. This is 7th season in his second stint, 14th season overall at Montana, 140 wins in his head coaching career at Montana. And Curtin Mallory on the other side for Indiana State in his 7th season. And a good crowd on hand at Washington Grizzly Stadium. 71 degrees at kickoff in Missoula. And Montana's going to receive the football first as Indiana State will kick off. And we are underway in this Missouri Valley Big Sky Conference battle. That will be a touchback. And Montana will start this football game from the 25-yard line. So here come the Grizzlies. We will see this Montana Grizzlies offense. Led by their quarterback, Keali Ayat. 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season, 550 yards passing in Montana's first 2 games. And Montana starts this drive at the 25, first down and 10. It's a screen pass on first down that's going to be a minimal gain of a yard on first down, as that reception on the screen pass made by the wide receiver Brooks Davis. That'll be good for a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Second down 9 for Montana. Football sitting at the 26-yard line. Ayat out of the gun. And this is a handoff up the middle. And there's a good gain of 7 yards on second down and 9. Gilman getting the carry on that one. It'll be third down and short, third down and 2 coming up for Montana. Eli Gilman, the redshirt junior, getting the carry on that second down play. It'll set up third down and 2 for the Grizzlies, opening drive of the game at the 33-yard line. Ayat takes the snap, and here's another handoff, and that's going to be stuffed for a loss on the play was Gilman. And Indiana State's defense forces a 3-and-out to Montana on the opening drive of the game. It was another handoff to Gilman, but he had nowhere to go up the middle. Tackle made by Bryce Patterson, redshirt sophomore out of Brownsburg, Indiana. So here comes Montana to punt the football away. Indiana State coming after it. He does get the punt away, however. And it's picked up on a bounce at the 24-yard line. Not much of a return up to the 27. And that is where Indiana State will start their first offensive series of the game. We are going to see the Indiana State offense for the first time in this game. 13:08 remaining in this opening quarter. Indiana State a 3-and-out to the Montana offense to begin this football game. And they will start out first and 10 from the 27-yard line. Wrapping up the rest of the top 25 in the FCS poll while we have a commercial here. Villanova, number 11 this week in the FCS poll. Villanova in action against Monmouth and currently trailing Monmouth on the road in the third quarter, 38-21. Tennessee Tech comes in at number 12 this week. And Tennessee Tech is idle. This week, Southern Illinois coming in at number 13, another Missouri Valley team. And that's the 4th Missouri Valley team in the top 13. Southern Illinois is at Southeast Missouri State later on. That's a rivalry game. Abilene Christian entering at number 14. And they're in action later on today against Austin Peay. And another Missouri Valley team, South Dakota, in at number 15 in the FCS poll. They're in action right now against Drake, and South Dakota leads Drake 14-7, midway point of the second quarter. So that takes the top 15, takes you down to the top 15 in the FCS poll. And it is a 0-0 game here between Indiana State and Montana. We're about to see the Indiana State offense come out on the field for the first time after this media timeout. Run down some of those scores from the FBS level as the day goes on as well. A full Saturday, and now this is the first of 2 live streams on my page today. Coming up later on tonight, I will be live streaming the Illinois-Indiana matchup in the Big Ten out of Bloomington. That game coming up later on. I will have it on the live stream for you here on my page. Or that game will be on my YouTube stream and will also be on the Kick stream. First down here for Indiana State. There's a screen pass that's going absolutely nowhere on first down. The Montana defense right there. As we get a look at Indiana State quarterback Keegan Patterson, redshirt junior out of Longmont, Colorado. This hasn't been a real heavy pass team so far this year, and we've got movement before the 2nd and 12 play. And we've got our first penalty of the game. This is going to push the Sycamores back 5 on a false start. So it'll be now 2nd and 17. On 2nd and 17, Patterson to throw. Pass is complete across the 30-yard line up to the 32-yard line. Reception made by Brian Domino as his helmet comes off there, so he's going to have to come out for a play. Still a gain of 11 yards on that 2nd and 17, setting up a now manageable 3rd down and 6. Sycamores are going to need 6 on this 3rd down. Football sitting at the 32-yard line. Patterson out of the gun. Montana showing blitz. Patterson, that pass is tipped at the line and incomplete. And just as Indiana State's defense forced a Montana 3 and out, the Montana defense does the same to Indiana State on their first drive. Didn't see who it was that got a hand on that for Montana. But here comes a punt. And it's going to bounce at the 21, take an Indiana State roll right at the 10-yard line, and that's where this football is down. So Montana will be backed up at their own 10-yard line to start their second drive of the game, 11:53 to go in a scoreless first quarter. So back out comes the Montana offense. A good crowd on hand on a early Saturday afternoon out in Missoula, Montana. First down, Grizzlies at their own 10. This will be a throw. It's a screen pass on first down, and that will be a 3-yard pickup on the screen pass to Gilman on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Second and 7, Montana from the 13-yard line. This is a handoff on 2nd down and a big loss on this running play to Gilman. That's going to be about a 4-yard loss, setting up 3rd down and 11 for Montana. Boy, busting right through that Montana offensive line. That was linebacker Alex Rose on the tackle for the loss. 3rd and 11 back at the 9. Taking the shotgun snap. Hit as he throw, pass complete. This will be a 1st down across the 30 up to the 34-yard line. 25 yards on 3rd down and 11 on the pass completion to the wide receiver, Michael Wortham. So Ayat just got that pass off before he was hit and found his receiver for 26 yards and a 1st down. Ayat again to throw. That pass is going to be incomplete to the sideline. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Intended receiver that time along the sideline was Brooks Davis. Second and 10 at the 35 for Montana. Ayad takes the snap on second and 10. It's another screen pass. And good for about a 9-yard pickup on second down. Be about a yard short of the first down. It'll be third down and a yard as the screen pass reception again for Michael Wortham. Montana will need a yard on this third down play from the 44-yard line, and we have a timeout before this 3rd and 1 play. With 9:50 to go in this first quarter, a scoreless first quarter. Timeout was called by Indiana State on defense. So with 9:50 remaining in the first quarter, we've got a timeout prior to the 3rd and 1 play here. Montana looking to go 3-0 before Big Sky play gets underway. Indiana State looking to go 3-1 in the non-conference and get a huge win over here in Missoula, Montana before they open Missouri Valley play in 2 weeks. Indiana State is idle next week before opening conference play 2 weeks from now. Checking a couple of the FBS level scores while we have a timeout here. Game I was watching prior to jumping on the live stream here, Arkansas and Memphis. Arkansas has basically led that whole game, but Memphis has just taken the lead, 32-31, a little over 4 minutes to go. Texas Tech and Utah, the featured game in this early afternoon window. Texas Tech leads Utah out there in Salt Lake City, 20-10. This shouldn't be an excuse, but you have to wonder how Utah, that's a 10 a.m. local time kickoff out there in Salt Lake City. An early kickoff out there. SMU and TCU, Dallas-Fort Worth area battle in a game called the Iron Skillet. And TCU leads SMU 35-24 with under 4 to go. That's a couple scores from around the FBS level. Got a couple big games tonight in the FBS level. The one I will be live streaming, Illinois and Indiana, later on tonight. We've also got that Florida-Miami game coming up tonight as well. But here in our game, it is 0-0, Indiana State and Montana, 9:50 remaining in the first quarter. Montana is going to have a 3rd and 1 from the 44-yard line when play resumes out of the timeout. Third and a yard. Ayad rolling right. Ayad throws downfield and almost intercepted. Incomplete. Near interception there on 3rd and 1. Kamal Clark nearly picked that off. So 4th and 1. Let's see what Montana does. They're at their own 44. And they do bring on the punter, Ty Morrison. And Morrison gets off the punt. Fair catch called and made around the 9-yard line. And a flag comes in. Yeah, the kick returner got hit after he called for the fair catch. So that's going to add 15 yards. So Indiana State's going to start at the 24 instead of at the 9. About to get the call here. This is obviously going to be kick, catch, interference. Actually, I was looking at the replay. Did they pick up the flag here? Because I'm actually not sure on the replay that the returner was hit. And yeah, they have picked up the flag. So no penalty for kick catch interference. So Indiana State will start at the 9-yard line. It's a handoff on first down going, well, it's going to get a couple yards on first down up to the 11-yard line, but that's it. Ples Lawrence getting the carry. Gain of 2 brings up 2nd down and 8. Second down, 8, football at the 11. Patterson throwing the deep ball down the field, and it is incomplete. A near grab down there. Rashad Rochelle, the intended receiver, almost able to come down with it. But it'll be 3rd down and 8. Sycamores need 8 on 3rd down. Football at the 11. Crowd getting loud. Patterson out of the gun, takes the snap. It's a running play for Patterson on the keeper, and he's going to get right to the marker. And I believe they're going to give it to him on the spot. They may measure here, however. He got right to the 19-yard line. And they do give him the first down. 1st down and 10. As the Sycamores keep the drive alive. Here's a handoff on 1st down. And breaking a tackle and across the 30, 1st down yardage and more and out of bounds. Right around the 40-yard line, the carry for Ples Lawrence. There is a late flag that came in as well. So we'll see what this flag is. And still waiting to see what the call is on the flag. Kurt Mallory not too happy on the Indiana State sideline. And now the officials are getting together. Kurt Mallory, the Indiana State head coach, very unhappy on the sideline. We'll see what the call is right here. It's holding on Indiana State. So that'll nullify the big gain. So the ball is pushed back to the 18-yard line, to 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so it's 1st and 11. Patterson takes the snap. Patterson a screen pass. And this is going to go nowhere on 1st down. Rashad Rochelle receiving the screen pass, but going nowhere on 1st down. Second and 11. Football at the 18-yard line. We've gone under 8 minutes for this opening quarter. And a running play on 2nd down across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. Gave 4-yard pickup there on 2nd down, setting up a 3rd down and 6. Rochelle setting up at wide this time on 3rd down and they're calling it about 6.5. Football sitting just inside the 23. There's the snap. As wide open receiver, pass is caught for a 1st down. Again, it's Rochelle on the reception, and Indiana State will move the sticks once again. Patterson right on target on that third down pass to Rashad Rochelle, and the drive stays alive for the Sycamores. First down at the 33-yard line. Out of the gun, here's a handoff, breaking a tackle, and then getting a 2-yard pickup out of that. It looked like Montana was going to get about a 2 or 3 yard loss on that on first down. But instead, it turns into about a 2 or 3 yard pickup for the running back, Cles Lawrence. Second and 8. And here's another handoff on second down. Lawrence again, and he gets up to the 39-yard line, setting up third down and about 4. As we have ticked down to 6 minutes and counting remaining in what is so far a scoreless first quarter. Third and 4. Patterson out of the gun. Patterson looking to throw. Pressured, and Patterson is sacked. The Montana defense was bringing the house, and they got to Patterson for a big sack, and it'll force an Indiana State punt. That was the linebacker Peyton Wing on the sack of Patterson there, the first one to get to him. And here's a punt. Fair catch called and made at the 31-yard line. So we've had 4 possessions in this game and 4 punts to this point. And with 5:06 to play in the first quarter, Montana will take over from their own 31-yard line in a scoreless first quarter in Missoula. Updates on a couple games across college football at the FBS level. Texas Tech is about to get a big win in Salt Lake City over Utah. They lead that 27-10 in the fourth quarter. Clemson, the struggling Clemson Tigers, are trailing again, 24-14 to Syracuse. That's in a weather delay. That's been in a weather delay for quite some time. Number 15, Tennessee's put 56 up on UAB, leading 56-17 late in the third. Civil War game between Oregon State and number 6 Oregon. Oregon out to a 7-0 lead in that one, midway point of the first quarter. Like I said, a game I was watching before I jumped on the live stream, Arkansas and Memphis. Memphis has come back to take the lead, but Arkansas is driving deep in Memphis territory, under 2 minutes to go. Maryland about to get a big Big Ten road win at Wisconsin. They lead that game 27-10 with under a minute to go. And the big game in the mid-afternoon window coming up, Auburn and Oklahoma. That's a big SEC battle. Also, what's looking like a pretty good game in the Big Ten about to kick off, Michigan and Nebraska. Nebraska undefeated on the season so far. And, of course, the big game tonight, top 20 matchup between Illinois and Indiana. I will have that on my live stream, on my YouTube live stream channel this evening in a big top 20 battle from Bloomington. But here we've got Indiana State and Montana in a scoreless game with 5:06 remaining in the first quarter. Montana is about to get their third offensive possession of the game, and they will start this one from their 31-yard line on a packed house on a Saturday early afternoon out in Missoula, Montana. So first down for the Grizzlies. Football from the 31-yard line, and this is a handoff on first down. Running room right side, and a big man down the sideline and not caught. 69 yards for a Montana touchdown. A one-play, 69-yard touchdown run for Eli Gilman, and the Grizzlies strike first, leading 6-0 with 4:54 to go in the opening quarter. Eli Gilman had room on the right side and went 69 yards, basically untouched to the end zone. Extra point kick is up, and it is good. And it is 7-0. Montana over Indiana State. One play, 69 yards. The run for Eli Gilman. And a 7-0 lead for the number 5 team in FCS, the Montana Grizzlies. So after a first quarter that has seen 4 offensive possessions and 4 punts, Eli Gilman takes one play and takes it 69 yards. So Montana takes a 7-0 lead with 4:54 to play in this first quarter. So let's see if Indiana State can respond on offense. And here's the kickoff. And this will be a touchback, and Indiana State will get it from the 25-yard line to start their third offensive series of the football game. Now trailing for the first time, 7-0. So first down for Indiana State from the 25-yard line. Patterson back in the shotgun. Patterson takes the snap, and it's a handoff on first down, breaking a tackle and up across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. That's Ples Lawrence with a gain of 6 and a good first down pickup of 6 yards. Second down and 4, Indiana State football at the 31-yard line. Patterson throwing deep left side and out of bounds. And it'll be third down and 4. Patterson kind of airmailed that one to the sideline. Third down 4. Indiana State from the 32-yard line. From 31-yard line, excuse me. Patterson. Patterson takes the snap. Patterson rolling to his left. Patterson, open receiver. That's caught for a first down across the 45, up near midfield. And a third down conversion. Larry Stevens the third on the reception, and an Indiana State first down on a pickup of 18 yards. Hurrying back up to the line are the Sycamores. Patterson throwing deep again. Right side. Has a man. Touchdown Sycamores. Patterson right on the dot. 51 yards on the touchdown strike to Rashad Rochelle, and Indiana State answers the Montana touchdown. And there's quite a few Indiana State fans that have made the long trek from Terre Haute, Indiana to Missoula, Montana. This extra point to tie the game. And we are square at 7 with 3:55 to play in the first quarter. Indiana State answers the Montana touchdown with a 51-yard touchdown pass from Keegan Patterson to Rashad Rochelle, and we are all deadlocked at 7. So we started the game with 4 possessions and 4 punts, but both teams have answered with a touchdown on their third drives of the game. And a 7-all deadlock. With 3:55 remaining in quarter number 1. That was a 4-play, 75-yard drive, took 59 seconds. And a 51-yard touchdown pass from Keegan Patterson to Rashad Rochelle. Montana will go back on offense here, as here's the kickoff. And that will be a touchback, and Montana will start this next drive from their own 25. Teams have combined for over 200 yards here in the first quarter. 2 long plays. Montana got a 69-yard run for their touchdown on the last drive by Gilman before Indiana State answered. Now Montana starts this next drive at the 25, 1st and 10. Pass on the right side is caught and near the first down marker. Reception made that time for Montana. That was Blake Bohannon, the senior wide receiver out of Woodstock, Georgia, with the reception, and they will say it's a first down at the 35. And here's a handoff on this first down play going backwards. That's going to be a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down. Stevie Rocker Jr. getting the carry there, his first carry of the game. And it goes for -2. Second down 12 for Montana, back at the 34-yard line as we near 3 minutes to play in this first quarter in a game that's tied at 7. Ayat takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff. Ayat looking, now throws left side, passes complete for a very minimal gain, however. It'll be a gain of about 3. Stevie Rocker Jr. with the reception, but was immediately tackled to prevent any further advancement. It'll be 3rd and 9. One for 3 so far on third down conversions in the quarter for Montana. They need 9 here. Ayat takes the shotgun snap. Ayat pressured, rolling to his left. Ayat throws downfield along the sideline, and it is a catch. First down reception on 3rd and 9 for Blake Bohannon. And it goes for 23 on 3rd and 9. Handoff on first down, and this will be a gain of about 4 yards. This is Rocker Jr. once again as he gets to the 37-yard line. Be 2nd down and 6. As we're under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. So Rocker Jr. getting the bulk of the carries running back on this drive for Montana. They spot him down to 38, so it's a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Ayat will keep it this time, right side. Ayat first down inside the 30 to the 29. Ayat with a quarterback keeper and a gain of 9 more and a first down. First down. Ayat throwing to the end zone, but overshoots his intended receiver, incomplete. Pass intended for Michael Wortham, but well overthrown, and it'll be 2nd down and 10, as we're down to 52 seconds to play in this first quarter. Second down and 10 for the Grizzlies. Ball at the 28 of Indiana State. Here's a handoff on 2nd down, breaking a tackle. This will be a 1st down run inside the 15 up to the 14-yard line. Indiana State had him stopped for about a 2-yard gain, but Eli Gilman kept the feet moving, and it turns into a 14-yard pickup and a 1st down for Montana. Ayat throws on 1st and 10, pass complete, and that's going to be another 1st down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Montana. They're rushing up to the line like they're going to try and get another snap off here before the end of the first quarter, as it's down to 5 seconds. They do get the snap off, and a run up the middle, and Montana saying touchdown. And the officials agree. Touchdown, Montana. On the last play of the first quarter, Eli Gilman, a 4-yard touchdown run up the middle, and Montana retakes the lead here at the end of the first quarter. Gilman just kept dragging the tacklers with him and breaks the plane for a 4-yard touchdown run. And looks like they're going to review it just to make sure he broke the plane, but it sure looked like on that replay that he did get the ball across before his knee hit. There's another angle from behind the end zone. Can't really tell where his knee is on that. But on that sideline view on the replay, it looked like Gilman was able to get the ball across before his knee hit. And here's another angle from behind. You can't tell with all the bodies everywhere where even the ball or where his knee is. But they are still looking at this. It's called a touchdown on the field, so it's got to be indisputable. Something's got to be indisputable, and I just don't see that there's anything there that's going to overturn this. So at the moment, it stands 13-7 Montana with the extra point to come. It's either going to be a touchdown or it's going to be 2nd and goal at about the 1-foot line. Here's the call. No, here's not the call. And, well, here is the call. And the touchdown will stand. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything there that was going to overturn that. So the touchdown for Gilman will stand. Montana retakes the lead and a chance to make it a 7-point lead once again with the extra point. Comes the extra point. It is up, and the kick is good, and it's 14-7 Montana at the end of the first quarter in Missoula. Number 5, Montana Grizzlies, a 7-point lead after 1 over Indiana State. That last scoring drive for Montana at the end of the first quarter, 10 plays, 75 yards. Took 3 minutes, 55 seconds, capped off by a Gilman 4-yard touchdown run. So Eli Gilman, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first quarter for Montana. And they will take a 7-point lead to the second quarter. Looking at some stats after 1 quarter of play in this one. 184 total yards in that first quarter for Montana. Indiana State with 113. It was 2 big plays for the first 2 touchdowns. Time of possession pretty even. 8 minutes, 14 seconds for Montana. 6 minutes, 46 seconds for Indiana State. Kiali Ayat, the quarterback for Montana, 8 for 11 passing in that first quarter for 85 yards. But Eli Gilman, 6 carries, 88 yards in the first quarter and the 2 rushing touchdowns. He had that 69-yard touchdown run on their first score. Wortham has 1 carry for 10 yards. Leading receivers for Montana of Ayat's 8 completions have been to 6 different receivers. Michael Wortham, 2 catches for 35 yards. Blake Bohannon, 2 catches for 34 yards. Then Josh Gale, Eli Gilman, Stevie Rocker Jr., and Brooks Davis a catch apiece. On the Indiana State side, Keegan Patterson, 6 of 9, throwing the football for 89 yards in that first quarter and the 1 passing touchdown. Running the football, Ples Lawrence rushed 5 times for 23 yards. Leading receiver for Indiana State was Rashad Rochelle, 3 catches, 62 yards, and he did have that receiving touchdown. Larry Stevens III caught 2 for 16 yards, and Brian Domino had 1 catch for 11 yards in that first quarter. Neither team turned the football over in the first quarter. It was a first quarter that started with 4 punts on the first 4 possessions combined, but the teams have combined to score touchdowns on their last 3 combined possessions. And it all leads to a 14-7 lead for the Montana Grizzlies after the first quarter. To run down, starting to get some finals in around college football. Texas Tech, number 17 Texas Tech gets a big win in Salt Lake City against number 16 Utah, 34-10. Memphis trailed the majority of the game against Arkansas, but Memphis a late fourth quarter touchdown, and Memphis knocks off Arkansas 32-31, that final. TCU a 35-24 win in the Iron Skillet game over SMU. That has gone final. Maryland a big Big Ten road win. They win at Wisconsin 27-10. Just about to kick off in Norman between Auburn and Oklahoma. And actually, they have now kicked off in Norman. Also got Michigan and Nebraska. That looks like a pretty compelling matchup in the Big Ten. They have just kicked off in Lincoln. Notre Dame in action trying to snap their 0-2 start, and they already have an early lead over Purdue, 7-0. And here we get ready to start the second quarter. Montana's going to kick this football away to Indiana State after Montana's touchdown to end the first quarter. So Indiana State will be in a 7-point hole again, needing to answer Montana's touchdown. And here is the kickoff. And this will be another touchback, and Indiana State will get it from the 25-yard line. So back to work for Patterson and the Indiana State offense. As it'll be first down from the 25-yard line. Sycamores just now break the huddle with 8 on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry this play up. And they're going to have to take a timeout here. That looked like some miscommunication. And they were going to have a delay of game penalty. So Indiana State has to take their second timeout of the first half. So they're down to 1 timeout for the remainder of the first half. So we will hold off on this first down play from the 25-yard line until after this timeout. Let's run down the rest of the FCS Top 25 poll. Gave you 1 through 15. North Dakota, another Missouri Valley team coming in this week at number 16. North Dakota's in action. They're actually about to kick off at home against Valparaiso. Northern Arizona, out of another Big Sky team, coming in at number 17. Northern Arizona is idle this week. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Northern Arizona will play Incarnate Word, actually. They're Incarnate Word ranked 19th in the FCS poll, so that's a top 20 matchup in the FCS. Austin Peay comes in at number 18. In the FCS poll, mentioned Incarnate Word number 19. Jackson State, Deion Sanders' former school, they come in at number 20. They are idle this week. 21 through 25, Monmouth coming in at number 21, West Georgia at 22, Lamar at 23, Sacramento State 24, and New Hampshire at 25 to round out this week's top 25 poll at the FCS level. Montana, the team in action in this game, they are coming in number 5 this week. They are 2-0. They had a dramatic comeback win over North Dakota in their previous game. They were trailing most of that game and got a late touchdown to come back and beat North Dakota. As both these teams start conference play following this game. Montana will next be in action, their Big Sky opener against Idaho. That will be next week. Indiana State opens Missouri Valley Conference play at Southern Illinois. That is in 2 weeks. Indiana State is on a bye week next week. So now looks like we're finally set to go. Following the Indiana State timeout, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Patterson and the Indiana State offense. They answered Montana's touchdown drive last time on their ensuing drive. Let's see if they can do it again. Patterson takes the snap. This is a handoff on first down and a carry up to the 28-yard line. Gain of 3 yards on first down will bring up 2nd down 7. Quick snap on 2nd and 7. Rolling right. Patterson, and he'll just have to throw it out of bounds. He was being pressured. And it'll be 3rd down and 7 for Indiana State. Third down and 7. Football sits at the 28-yard line. Just underway, quarter number 2. Patterson takes the shotgun snap, a low one. Flag on the play. Patterson's pass is incomplete. We're going to see what the flag is. And this is going to be offsides against Montana, so that will move a 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 2 now. That could open up the playbook a little bit more now. And Montana was bringing the blitz, and someone jumped in the neutral zone a little too quick. And now we've got Indiana State's going to give the 5 right back, as this is going to be a false start. So we're right back to where we were, 3rd down and 7. So 3rd down and 7, back to the 28-yard line. And here comes the crowd noise again. Patterson takes the snap. Patterson looks over the middle, too high, incomplete. And it'll be a 3-and-out for Indiana State. Patterson's pass a little high there. Like number 12, Torrey French, the intended receiver. But it'll be a 3-and-out and an Indiana State punt. So Indiana State on to punt the football. And gets the punt away. Fair catch at the 26-yard line, and that's where Montana will start this next drive, up by 7. And they go back on offense from the 26-yard line. So with 14-18 remaining in quarter number 2, we are going to see the Grizzlies offense once again. With a 14-7 lead. Run down from some FCS scores here for you. Number 11, Villanova, they're going to go down today as they trail number 21, Monmouth. Number 21, Monmouth taking it to number 11, Villanova. That's 51-27 in the fourth quarter. Number 25, New Hampshire, also trailing. They trail at Dartmouth 27-20. The minute 21 to go in that one. Number 6, Illinois State, getting a battle from North Alabama. That's a 17-14 lead for the Redbirds. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter there. Number 15, South Dakota, 28-7. They're having their way with Drake today. Number 14, Montana State, they're off to a 10-0 lead over Mercyhurst in the first quarter. That's the only ranked teams in the FCS level in action right now. A couple updated scores from the FBS levels. Oregon State's come back to tie up number 6 Oregon. That's a 7-7 game in the second quarter. Purdue's come back to answer Notre Dame's touchdown. That's now 7-7 up in South Bend. Just underway. UCF off to a 7-0 lead over North Carolina. Scoreless game between Auburn and Oklahoma. That's the featured game of this mid-afternoon window. And here back to this one. It's a 14-7 lead for Montana, and they've got the football back here with 14-18 to go in quarter number 2. They will start this next drive from their own 26-yard line, as they've been able to put the ball in the end zone their last 2 offensive possessions. And first down, here's a screen pass right side and running room here and a good 7-yard pickup on first down. On that screen pass is Michael Wortham, the recipient of that screen pass. It'll be 2nd and 3. Second down 3, football sits at the 33-yard line, high snap, and it's a quarterback keeper. Yacht first down, a lot more as he's up near midfield, tackled down at the 48-yard line. I beg your pardon, that was a direct snap to Wortham, excuse me. A 15-yard pickup and a first down. First down, Montana at the 48. There's another handoff once again. This time, not much doing. A gain of only a yard this time, as this time that was a carry for Eli Gilman. Give him 2 on that. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Second down, 8 for Montana. And on second down, this play's going backwards as Gilman's going to lose 3 yards on second down. And it'll be third and long now for Montana. Third down and 11. Grizzlies back at the 46-yard line. They need 11 yards to keep this drive alive. Ayad out of the shotgun, takes the snap. Ayad with time, throwing over the middle to a wide open receiver. First down inside the 40, up to the 36-yard line. That's 18 yards on third down and 11 as Ayad finds his tight end, Josh Gale, for that reception. Here's a first down carry, and this will be a minimal gain once again on first down. That was Malai Fanati getting that carry. First time we've seen him today. Second down and 9. Again, it's a direct snap to Wortham, and he will pick up about 4. It'll be third down and 5 for Montana. Is this 4-down territory for Montana? If you've got a third down and 5 with the football sitting at the Indiana State 32. Ayat takes the shotgun snap. Ayat throws right side and is caught for another third down conversion up to the 20-yard line. Jordan Deaver with the reception. And again, Montana with a new set of downs. Up to the 20-yard line, first down and 10. Here's a handoff, and this is going to go for about 7 yards on first down inside the 15 to the 13. It's Fanati again getting the rush. As we hit 10 minutes and counting to go here in the second quarter. Now Ayat will run it. Ayat running room into the end zone. Touchdown Grizzlies. Ayat on the quarterback keeper from 14 yards. And Montana with another touchdown to push this lead to 20-7 with the extra point pending. And now the extra point to make this a 14-point lead. Snap is good, and the kick. And what do we have here? The kick is good, but what do we have here? There's a flag. It's going to be a delay. Oh, play clock's at 0. Yeah, the delay of game on Montana. So this will move the extra point back 5 yards. So this will now be a 25-yard extra point. And the extra point is straight through, and it's 21-7. Montana with 9:51 to play in quarter number 2. That drive for Montana. Capped off with a 14-yard touchdown run. And a 21-7 lead for the Montana Grizzlies. 3 consecutive touchdowns scored for Montana on their last 3 drives. They're now up to 258 yards of offense. Ayat 120 through the air in the first half. Montana's rushed for 138. Indiana State at 116 yards of offense. Is a 10-play, 74-yard drive in 4 minutes, 20 seconds that got capped off by the Kiali Ayat 14-yard touchdown run and a 14-point lead for the Montana Grizzlies. Update on some scores. Oklahoma has broke the scoreboard first as they kick a field goal, so they lead Auburn 3-0. Purdue and Notre Dame still tied 7-7. Again, the top 20 matchup in Salt Lake City, it went to Texas Tech 34-10 over Utah. Big 12 opener for both those teams. Still to come, some good games tonight. Good games in the SEC. South Carolina, Missouri, that's a little bit of an intriguing matchup. Miami, of course, hosting Florida. Illinois and Indiana, Big Ten battle. And again, I will have that on a live stream tonight. Apple Cup game, Washington and Washington State. It looks so weird to see that in the Civil War game, Oregon State, this early in the season as opposed to the last game of the season. But with the conference shifting going on, that's where they have to put it on the schedule now. 21-7 lead here for Montana, and they get set to kick this off. And now Indiana State finds themselves in a 2-touchdown deficit. And here's kickoff. And once again, it will be a touchback, and Indiana State will get it from the 25-yard line to start this next drive. So Indiana State's offense is stalled. Stalled on their last drive. Let's see what they can do this time. Keegan Patterson currently 6 for 11 for 89 yards. Sycamores start at the 25. Patterson, it's a handoff on first down. This will be a gain of about 3 on first down. First carry for Nick Osho in the game. Gain of 2, second down and 8. Patterson looking, Patterson throwing down the field, incomplete. He had his man down there, Rochelle, the intended receiver, but a little bit too much mustard on that pass. It'll be third down and 8, rather. So the Sycamores will need 8 yards on this third down to keep the drive alive from the 27. And here comes the crowd again. Montana looks like they're showing blitz again. Here they come, getting rid of it and incomplete. Actually, correction, that actually might be a completed pass, but it's still going to be short of the first down. It was a completion, so I beg your pardon on that. The completion to Brian Domino, but on 3rd and 8, it was only good for 5 yards. So Indiana State's going to have to punt the football anyway. Thought I saw the ball hit the ground on the reception, but that was not the case. Here's the punt. Fair catch at the 22-yard line, and that's where Montana will start this next drive as they have been able to put touchdowns on the board each of their last 3 possessions. And meanwhile, the Montana defense has forced 4 Indiana State punts in the first half. And the Grizzlies, with a 21-7 lead, are heading back out on offense as they will start this next drive at the 22. Do want to mention something. I do mention this every time. If there's any new viewers joining, there is a delay between the actual live action if you're watching on TV and listening to me. There is a delay on my ESPN Plus service, so I do want to always like to point that out. This is Gilman getting a first down carry, and not for much. He gets maybe a couple yards on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Second and 8, football sitting right at the 30. Ayat out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Ayat, all kinds of time, now has room to run. Instead, he'll throw it, and the pass is complete for a first down up to the 40-yard line. And this does not look good. The reception was made by Blake Bohannon, but he immediately went down and is punching his fists on the turf. This is not good. Bohannon took a pretty good hit from behind on the reception, and immediately once the play was whistled dead, Bohannon started punching his fists on the turf. And you hope this is nothing serious. But they are attending to Bohannon on the field. Brian Bohannon, senior wide receiver out of Woodstock, Georgia, as they are still tending to him. And now head coach Bobby Houck comes out to take a look at his receiver. Bohannon is up, but he is favoring that, like maybe his left ankle. He is needing a lot of assistance off to the sideline, though, so hope he's all right. Blake Bohannon, 3 catches in this game. He's been a big weapon in this Montana offense this season so far. Here's a first down run across the 40-yard line up to the 42-yard line. This will be a gain of 3 for Gilman on first down. He'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Clock running. We've just passed the midway point of the second quarter, and Montana leading Indiana State right now 21-7, and they're on the drive again. Second down and 8, football right at the 42 as Eli Gilman nearing 100 yards rushing in this first half. Ayat throws, wide open man, first down into Indiana State territory and out of bounds. 13-yard pickup on that reception. Reception by Corbin Hendricks, his first catch of the game for Montana. Up to the 47-yard line. Ayat throws right side but overshoots his intended receiver that time, incomplete. Intended receiver once again was Hendricks. It'll be 2nd and 10. Ayat's coming to the sideline. This looks like it's going to be one of those direct snaps again, like they've ran a couple times in this first half. Yep. Looks like it's going to be a direct snap to Wortham. Again, as they ran earlier. Actually, Wortham hands it off. Inside the 45 to the 44. That was a handoff to Gilman. This will be third down for Montana, as that gain went for about 4 yards. Third down and 6. Ayat back in the game at quarterback. Gilman joining him back there in the backfield. Ayat takes the shotgun snap on 3rd and 6. Ayat throws over the middle off the hands and incomplete. Intended receiver was wide receiver Jordan Deaver, but good coverage from Indiana State there, and it will be 4th down for Montana, and it looks like they're bringing on the punt team. Clock is stopped with 5:59 to go in the second quarter. So Indiana State defense gets a stop this time. Montana hoping to punt Indiana State deep in their own territory. There's the snap. Kick is away. And Montana will down it at the 3-yard line. Outstanding punt by Ty Morrison. They're going to mark it at the 4, so a 39-yard punt. And Indiana State backed up inside their 5-yard line to start this next drive with 5:51 to go in the second quarter. Indiana State has 1 timeout remaining. First down, Indiana State at the 4. Patterson out of the shotgun, standing in his end zone. And it's a handoff that's going nowhere, maybe a yard, but that's it on first down. It'll be 2nd down for Indiana State. Second down and 10, football at the 4. They say no gain. Second down, throwing deep down the right side. Passes incomplete. It was a completed catch, but Larry Stevens III couldn't come down in bounds. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Or I should say it was a catch, but not in bounds is what I... 3rd down and 10. Football at the 4. Patterson, and we've got whistles stopping this play. It's going to be a false start against Indiana State, so that will move the ball back to the 2-yard line. Bring up 3rd down and 12. Third down, Sycamores need 12. This crowd's about to get very loud. Patterson. Patterson looking. Patterson in his end zone. Patterson's going to have to take it himself. And Patterson gets to the first down marker up to the 17-yard line. He had nowhere to throw downfield and took it himself and picks up 15 yards on a 3rd and 12. There was a missed ankle tackle, and on that missed ankle tackle, it allowed Patterson to get the yardage needed to keep the chains moving. First down and 10, and Patterson hit from behind. The ball is loose, and this is going to be a fumble return and a fumble recovery for a touchdown for Montana. Montana was bringing the blitz to Patterson on the left side. He had no idea they were back there as he got absolutely blasted, and the ball came out. And it was recovered by Montana for a touchdown. See who that was that recovered that. It's TJ Roush that recovered the fumble for the touchdown for Montana. So a defensive score for the Grizzlies, and that makes the lead 28-7 for Montana with 4:47 remaining in quarter number 2. And Patterson had no idea. And he just got absolutely blasted as the ball came out. I didn't see who that was that put the hit on Patterson. But it's a defensive score for Montana to push their lead now to 21 at 28-7. "21 unanswered points for the Grizzlies in this one since this game was tied at 7. And this is what Indiana State could not afford, falling into a big deficit against the number 5 rated team in the FCS. Kickoff. And it's going to be another touchback, and Indiana State will get the football from the 25-yard line. Before this drive starts, I do want to point out at halftime, I will be briefly stopping the live stream. I will be back right before the second half begins to give you first half stats and get you ready for the second half. But there will be a brief pause in the live stream at halftime for about 12 to 15 minutes. And I will be back on just prior to the start of the second half. 4:47 to go here in the second quarter. Sycamores again start at the 25-yard line. Patterson takes the snap, and Patterson's going to be sacked again inside the 20-yard line. A loss of 7. Linebacker Elijah Tolbert getting the sack that time on Patterson, and a loss of 7. On 2nd and 17, this is a handoff across the 20 up to the 22-yard line. Gain of about 4 yards here, but it'll still be 3rd and long as Lawrence got that carry. 3rd and 13 as we approach 4 minutes and counting to play quarter number 2. Third down, Indiana State needs 13 to keep this drive alive. Football at the 22-yard line. Out of the gun, once again, Patterson takes the snap. And it's a handoff on 3rd and 13. Lawrence breaks a tackle. Lawrence is going to be brought down about a yard shy of a first down at the 34-yard line. So it's 4th and 1. You're down 21 points. You're at your own 34-yard line. Does Kurt Mallory roll the dice here? And it looks like he is keeping the offense out. On 4th and 1 from the 34. You know, in a 21-point hole, I don't know. Now he's bringing the punt team on. Going to play the field. Oh, the Lawrence is not happy going off the sideline. He wanted to stay out there and go for this on 4th down. But Kurt Mallory going to play the field position game. And the punt taken at the 18-yard line, but not much room to run after that and going to be brought down right there. Good coverage for Indiana State on that punt, and Montana will start inside their 20 with 2:44 remaining in quarter number 2, leading 28-7. Now, Montana does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Indiana State is going to receive the football to start the second half. First down, Montana. A Watt pass caught. And this is going to be a first down and more for Montana. Down the right sideline, out of bounds. And a big gain on first down on the reception to Wortham. First down, Montana. Now, Montana does not have to snap it again before the 2-minute timeout if they don't want to. But they do. Rolling out to his left, pass complete and out of bounds. At the 46-yard line, again, the reception for Wortham. And on 2 plays, Montana's drove the football onto the Indiana State side of the field. And that will take us to the 2-minute timeout. With Montana leading 28-7, but on the drive once again, looking for more points before the halftime break. It's already 36 yards on 2 plays on this drive for Montana. As they look to extend this lead right before halftime. Auburn has come back with a field goal to tie Oklahoma 3-3 late first quarter in that one. Michigan's jumped out to a 10-0 lead on Nebraska after the first quarter. Notre Dame leading Purdue 14-10. That game just underway in the second. Finals from ranked teams earlier today. Number 15, Tennessee, 56-24 over UAB. Number 17, Texas Tech gets the road win at number 16, Utah, 34-10. And they are back underway after that weather delay in Clemson, and Syracuse leads Clemson 27-14. Is Clemson going to fall to 1-3? They'd be 0-2 in the ACC as well if they don't come back and win that game. But we are just about set to come out of the 2-minute timeout in this one as Montana looking for more points here before the halftime break, leading this game 28-7 already. And they will have a first down at the Indiana State 46 when play resumes. Montana over the 300-yard mark of offense in this first half. So following the 2-minute timeout, be first down from the 46-yard line. Ayat takes the shotgun snap. Ayat throws, pass complete. That's going to be another first down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Again, the reception for the tight end, Gale. $12 more and a first down. Ayat again to throw. Right side pass complete. Out of bounds inside the 20. A gain of 15 more. Stevie Rocker Jr. on the reception this time, and Montana into the red zone at the Indiana State 19. First down, Grizzlies. Ayat takes the snap. Ayat looking, throwing right side. Wide open and a touchdown. Gale was absolutely wide open on the right side of the end zone, and 6 more for Montana. And they've busted this thing open at the end of the first half, now 34-7 with the extra point pending. Boy, there wasn't a defender within 7 yards of Gale in the end zone. Extra point try by Ty Morrison is up and good, and 28 unanswered points for the Montana Grizzlies, and they lead this game 35-7 with 1:33 to go in the second quarter. I mean, Ayad found his receiver. Gale, there was not a defender within 7-8 yards of him. I mean, he was wide open in the end zone. So now Indiana State, with 1:33 to go in the first half, now trailing 35-7. And again, they also will get the football to start the second half. So Indiana State with a possible 2-for-1 situation here if they can get points right before the first half ends and get the football to start the second half. Just looking for something here. And here's the kickoff. And this kickoff does not go out of bounds, and it's going to be down at the 13-yard line. I think, and see who that kick returner was for Indiana State. I was thinking he thought it was going to go out of bounds, and the ball just died like right on the right side, right before the sideline, and so he had no choice but to pick it up, but had nowhere to go. That drive for Montana, 5 plays, 82 yards, 1 minute, 11 seconds. Ayat, 19-yard touchdown pass to Gale. And back comes Indiana State on offense. Now trailing 35-7. And a first down at the 13-yard line. First down, this is a screen pass. Nowhere to go, maybe a yard on first down, but that's it. The reception for Torrey French. They do give him a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Now looks like Montana is going to use a timeout on defense with 1:17 to go in the second quarter. So that leaves Montana with 2 timeouts. Indiana State has 1 timeout left. This is an Indiana State defense that gave up 73 points to Indiana the last time out last Friday. And Montana's put 35 on the board on them here in the first half. That's 108 points allowed by this defense in the last 6 quarters. So following the timeout, it's going to be second down and 9 for the Sycamores. Football is sitting at the 14-yard line. And it looks like Montana showing blitz again. Patterson rolls out to his right, throws, pass is caught along the sideline. And a big gain here on second down. It's Torrey French. That's going to go for 38 yards and an Indiana State first down. French was juggling it, but was able to come up with it. Patterson on first down, throwing again right side, but nobody there, incomplete. It'll be second and 10. Clock stopped with 1 minute to play in the first half. Larry Stevens III, the intended receiver on that pass. Second and 10. Patterson takes the snap. It's a handoff to Lawrence, and Lawrence up to the 41-yard line. Gain of about 5. Setting up third down and 5. Quick snap on third down. A throw here, incomplete, too high. It'll be fourth down and 6. Torrey French, again, the intended receiver. 4th down and 6 coming up for the Sycamores. Clock stopped with 38 seconds to play in the first half. So on 4th down and 6, Kurt Mallory brings on the punt team. And getting the punt away. Fair catch at the 9-yard line, and that's where Montana will start with 31 seconds to play in the second quarter. So we'll see if Montana just goes conservatively and is content to take this big lead to the locker room, or if they're going to try and march downfield to try and get something else here before the half. They do have 2 timeouts. So we'll see how Montana elects to play this. Grizzlies starting this drive at their own 8. This is a handoff on 1st down, and it's going to be good for a couple of yards. And that play may take us to halftime, as neither team showing they're going to stop it here. That was Rocker Jr. getting the carry on that 1st down. Clock down to 10 seconds, and Montana is showing that they're going to run a play here. And they are not, and that we are headed to the halftime locker room. It is all Grizzlies at the half. 35-7, Montana leads Indiana State after 30 minutes of play in Missoula, Montana. A first half that saw Montana put up 371 yards of offense. In a first half where they have scored 28 unanswered points since the 7-7 tie. 35-7 at the half. Montana leads Indiana State. Again, I'm going to briefly pause this live stream. I'll be back with you here 12 to 15 minutes or so just prior to the second half. Run down some first half stats and get you ready for the second half here as a 35-7 Montana lead over Indiana State at halftime. Talk to you.